ex lies during divorce to have me jailed, and instead he is left with remorse. Came across this sub today and thought I have the perfect story to add. I was getting divorced in the early 90s. My ex was pissed that I was divorcing him. I owned the house prior to the marriage, so he moved out. But he broke back in and tore up all kinds of things, tore up my jewelry, my clothes, he cut holes in all of them, etc. I couldn't prove it, but of course it was him. When we went to divorce court, he gave the judge a 2-page list of things that he supposedly brought to the house with him prior to marriage, that I refused to return. My attorney showed me the list and it was stuff that he never owned in the first place. He totally wanted me thrown in jail for contempt of court. My alternative ways to pay like $2,000 and I wasn't about to do that. I opted for jail. But my friends kept telling me just to pay it. I refused. 2 days before I was to appear in court, a girlfriend of mine asked if she could see the list. Sure. She noted that things he said were there didn't give much, if any, of a description. For example, he says there's a gun. He didn't say what kind of gun. He said there was a computer and he didn't say what kind of computer, and so on. Her point was that if I went around and bought everything on the list, it would probably cost me about $200, and that was worth staying out of jail. I agreed, knowing it would also be worth him being livid that his plan didn't work. So I made a game of it. I went around to pawn shops and resale stores. And I told whoever was in charge there that I was on a scavenger hunt. And I briefly explained what was going on. They all loved the idea and helped me get through my list rather quickly. Here are some lovely examples of what was boxed up for him. Gun: an old rusty cap gun. Screwdriver set: same old and rusty. Clothing: Goodwill, horrid stuff. Bust statue: made one myself from clay. Knives: old and rusty. Camping gear: an old pan, matches and a tiny tarp. And one of my favorites that I remember was, he said he had a Monopoly game. So I sent him a Goodwill find without any of the pieces. Just the board. I wish I could remember everything that we got. It was so much fun, and when we got home, we had to videotape boxing them all up and going through the items one by one. My attorney told the judge that I had found at the attic and I just hadn't seen it before. So sorry. The judge told my attorney to simply drop the box off at his attorney's office. And that the divorce was final. My only regret is not being able to see his face when he opened up that box of garbage, and there was nothing he could say because he made the stuff up in the first place. It's been 30 years and I still get joy thinking about it. Looks like you kept the get out of jail free card for yourself. Well played. Your friend should do divorce consults. She could make bank with her insight and sage advice. That was beautifully wicked. My ex tried this shit. I told him he could have anything he could provide a receipt or card statement entry for. He got nothing. Edit okay. He didn't get any of the things I bought. I did have to pay him a little go-away money. And I mean little. See my other comment for more info. Wouldn't the burden of proof be on him to back up his claim? The judge just said either give him this magical list of stuff he wants, or you have to go to jail. That makes zero sense. He literally wanted you to go to jail over a Monopoly game. What a damn loser. I was sitting here reading this and thinking how much fun it would have been to be on that shopping spree with you. It's like a scavenger hunt, but you're trying to find the stupidest things that fit the description. Hope your friend got a good dinner out of it. She is revenge royalty. I hope you got him to pay alimony, child support, and an asshole tax. I am filled with joy by this story. I love this. Well played. What does the bust you made look like? I personally would have made a huge penis to embarrass him. Lol. Wow. This was pretty awesome. Petty revenge. He's such an idiot. He asked for it. My favorites were the cap gun and Monopoly board. Only GIF emote free emotes pack joy. Taking notes. Also, you know you suck as a partner when your ex chooses to go to jail instead of paying you one additional cent. Brava. Your friend is an evil genius. Luckily for you, she was on your side. Do you want to be my spirit animal? You bring petty to a new level. Cool. Concentrated thinking. Madam. I was really expecting this to go a different direction where you provide the actual items provided. He can give any more detailed description that matches. For example, what kind of gun? Then when he cannot identify any of the items he made up, judge rules in your favor. You're truly a legend for this. Clapping hands. Medium light skin tone. This leans pretty heavily toward pro. Especially making a bust yourself. More like OP should get help cause it's a bot. Thanks for the laugh. I went through a contentious divorce and his lying was horrific. So glad you did this. You had a very smart friend. Your ex must have been so smug as he cracked that box open. You beat him at his own game. Well done. So no one asked for any kind of proof of purchase during this whole ordeal. I turned my abusive ex's gun over to the police and he couldn't get it back because he didn't have any paperwork proving it was his. He filed theft of property charges against me. So that's why I turned it into the police. What a fucking awesome story. Seems crazy that you can just make vague claims of owning things with no proof. Wait. Your lawyer didn't point out the obvious lack of details. Argue that these things couldn't exist based on income or anything. And was willing to blatantly lie for you and hope you never expose it to cost his career. I adore you for your moral character and almost going to jail to be petty. The interesting part for me is how he didn't want the divorce, so he showed his undying love for you by tearing up your things, jewelry, and cutting up your clothes. I mean, nothing says love like a real good vandalism of your property. So your friend caught this, but the attorney you were paying didn't. This isn't the green text sub. This reeks of being made up. Or at the very least you got your decades wrong. Do you have any idea how expensive a laptop was in the 90s? Pick up everything on the list for $200 lol. Also, courts take things related to guns much more seriously than oh she brought in a cap gun lol. I love that you made the bust yourself. This is the level of petty he deserved lol. Bahaha, this is clever. Love this. Love it. This is like a Taylor Swift song waiting to happen. Tears of joy. Love it. Lol, I fucking love this. I love this so much. Full score. That was a good friend. OMG, this is the best. Best $200 ever spent. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. Damn, I'm impressed, but also if he didn't specify what type of X, that's his fault too. Good on you. Too funny.